pit area. Results in from Charlotte Motor Speedway just gave us a call. Bobby Allison got the win down there. Harry Gant was second. Cale Yarborough finished third. Ricky Rudd was fourth. Ronnie Bouchard was running ninth at the World 600 when he blew an engine and dropped it before the car comes back on the track. And they're getting set to go in the number 33. Hood being put back on the car. The beautiful RM Burritt Camaro Z28 pace car with classic winner Jimmy Champagne painted on one side, track champion Warrant Conium on the other. They head around through the turns. Brian Hurd heading to pick up speed. Ramage pulling away from the field. The field catches up. Green flag is out here as they come down the front straight. Joya on the outside. Ramage grabs off the early lead. Joya runs high in the number 9. Warrant Conium also goes to the high road. He pulls alongside Brian Herb. Coming down. Whoa, a big jam up down in the corner down there. And whoa, a spin. It's Jamie Moore. Jamie Moore spins the 21. And Chip Simmons, in trying to get through there, caught the front end of the 21. Chip Simmons. A question, there is damage to the front end where Simmons hit him. The left rear tire is off, the new one going on. Working hard to correct the damage to the right front of the machine. That's the 21, Jamie, up in that front row. Starting to pick up speed, coming off the turns. This time staying right side by side together. Nobody able to make an inside move there. A lot of people looked like they wanted to. It's Warrant Conium coming away with second. He set sail after Brian Herb, who grabbed off the early lead. Don Ramage on the outside has Eddie Bellinger pinned in. Bellinger trying to get down low. Meanwhile, out in front, it's Brian Herb. Warrant Conium running second. Larry Record, and the yellow flag is out. The yellow flag is out for Dave Morton in turn 3. It's out here. Brian Herb, the leader, coming off 4. Hevron ducks down low, trying to get underneath Dick Batchelder. He does. Hevron trying to move up through traffic. The 7 and 12, Johnny Teresi and Russ Sauter running extremely slowly back here in the back of the pack. As they come 3 abreast down the front straight, and it's Warrant Conium who grabbed the lead on that last lap out in front. Bentley Warren now underneath. Steve Joya trying to move up to 4th. Eddie Bellinger outside 6th. Hevron, whoa! Dave Morton into the... Jamie Moore goes into the pits in the 21. Mike Rizzo also... Well, Warrant Conium, the early leader here with 3 laps down. Chuck Siprich coming down low down the front straight. Conium slams the door shut on him. Siprich can't get through. Brian Herb running back in 3rd. Steve Joy as Eddie goes to the high side, trying to come around Bentley Warren. The leader, though, coming down the front straight is still the 6 of Warrant Conium. Joya hanging on to 4th. Bellinger on the outside, runs side by side with Bentley Warren. Conium, the leader. Siprich running in 2nd. Brian Herb is 3rd, Steve Joya 4th. Bellinger hanging on to 5th as he got around the 77 of Bentley Warren. Doug Hevron is now challenging Warren on the outside as Siprich goes to the outside of Coniam. Coniam, though, able to hang on between the turns. Siprich tries a slingshot off the corner. Not enough stuff. Here comes Hevron down low down the front straight. He hasn't got enough to get by Eddie Bellinger. Brian Herb still running in 3rd. The 9 of Steve Joya 4th. Eddie Bellinger 5th. Hevron 6th. Bentley Warren in 7th. Now Siprich up alongside and out pulls the 6 of Coniam. Chuck Siprich, the new leader here in the Port City race. Siprich in the 36, out in of Mike Reuter into the pits. Reuter to the pits in the 39. Your 5th. Bentley Warren is 6th. Hevron running 7th. And your leaders now closing in on some of the slower traffic. Paul Castilla just ahead of him, as is Bob Garvey, as they move up now. Garvey and Castilla on the inside. Siprich goes to the outside. He puts a lap on one of them down the back straight. Siprich and Coniam still run 1-2, but Siprich starting to pull away as he has no traffic ahead right now. Brian Herb still running in 3rd. Joya is 4th. Bellinger, but your leaders now with a clear track ahead, pulling away from the field. 17-9 that lap for Siprich. 17-9 for Charging Charlie. He is out in front with a big advantage over Warren Coniam. And your leaders nearly a full straightaway ahead of Brian Herb. Doug Hevron, meanwhile, continues to battle back in the pack as he can't come around Eddie Bellinger. And now Bentley Warren back underneath trying to take over trying to come around to start to mount a challenge for the lead. Another car in the pits, and the yellow flag is out. Down the back straight. High on the wall in turn 2. He almost went over. The tire mark goes all the way up to the top of the wall.
I talked to track officials. Ronnie really stunned by a real rough ride way up on the wall. And look at the fortitude of this guy. He's going to come out under his own power. A moment ago, he could hardly move. And now Wallace forces himself out of the car. He will walk away under his own power. Ronnie Wallace is up and working with...
Yeah, but I wanted you on if you could just, say, sort of be juked to the outside and crashed into the wall or something.
Minor explosion just before the car started to veer. It hit the wall, and once it hit the wall, it started to climb immediately, and we just really don't know what happened.
Involved. Car just veered to the outside and crashed into the wall, climbed the fence, fortunately stayed inside the Speedway grounds, and ended up on all four. Straightaway, so the leaders will be moving up quickly on him. Bentley Warren out of shape in the corner. That allowed Doug Hevron to get by into 6th. Hevron now dives underneath Joya in turn 3. Steve washes out in the corner, and that moves Hevron up to 5th. Chuck Siprich out in front. Siprich in the 36. Warren Coniam running 2nd. Brian Herb is still 3rd. Eddie Bellinger runs 4th. Herb hangs on to the 3rd spot. Bellinger running back here 4th. Doug Hevron is still 5th. Your leader only running 18.7. A little bit slower than they were turning earlier. You can bet they'll pick up speed quickly, however. Out in front, the 36 of Chuck Siprich. Passing flag out now for Don Ramage. Ramage taking the passing flag. Here's Siprich, and he is still running 18.6. Coniam running in 2nd. Eddie Bellinger has now taken over 3rd. Brian Herb on the... as he caught the wall back there. Rich Goldstein is over at a feature on the hook. And as the green comes out between 3 and 4, here comes Record on the outside. And Eddie Bellinger down low under Warren Cunningham. Bellinger got the jump that time on Cunningham, but Warren handles well through the turns, tries to inch ahead down the back straight. They stay side by side in turn 3. Cunningham outside, Bellinger inside, Hevron looking for the open groove. Bellinger now up into second. Hevron trying to slide through underneath. He gets underneath. Cunningham trying to take over third. Out in front, here's the green. Hevron tries to get underneath Cunningham coming down the front straight. He does. Bellinger tried to get under Siprich, couldn't do it. Eddie washes out a little bit in the corner. Cunningham back up alongside the one of Hevron. They're side by side down the back straight. But it's Hevron a little bit harder into turn 3. Hanging on now. Bellinger up alongside the 36. Sets back in behind. Siprich the leader. Bellinger running second. Cunningham third. Hevron fourth. Joya fifth. Bentley, Warren, Larry, Record, Dick Cunningham hanging right there third. 18-16 the lap for your leader. Chuck Siprich, Bellinger. Here now, Steve Joya has Bentley Warren underneath, and Warren backs out. Joya hangs on to fifth. Bentley, though, right back underneath, coming down the front straight, side by side. Joya outside, Bentley, Warren inside, and Warren, as Joya drifted way high in the turn, gets back on it, trying to hold off Hevron. Hevron slams it up underneath in turn 3. Cunningham, though, rides a good high groove and hangs on to the number 3 spot. Chuck Siprich. I think he wants a new left rear tire. Bringing a tire over for the 9 of Joya. This will not be a long delay, I don't believe. Siprich is the leader down the front chute, out in front. Hevron tried to duck down low under Cunningham, had no room, but now up in one he does. But again, Cunningham's right back on the outside. Cunningham rides that high groove so well and hangs on to third. Doug Hevron running fourth, Bentley Warren fifth, Larry Record in sixth, followed by Dick Batchelder, Joe Gosick, Lou Bannister, Steve Joya, and Brian Herb. 17 Castilia into the pit area as your leaders down the front chute. Complete lap number 28. Remain in the super modified feature. That's the fastest lap of the day right there. 17:8:04. 17:8:0 for Chuck Siprich. Eddie Bellinger still hanging right there second, not losing any ground at all. But Cunningham, Hevron, and Bentley Warren are losing a little ground. And now a 17:76. Great year, 17:7. Green flag. Another restart, and again it's Siprich. This time Bellinger looks to challenge him on the outside. Cunningham goes high. Doug Hevron gets a wheel underneath. Let's see if he can get through there all the way. This time he does. But no, Cunningham right back, challenging on the high side. Doug Hevron down low, Cunningham outside, but Cunningham now sets back in fourth. He continues to run the high road. Bentley takes over the spot. Record drops back into eighth. As Siprich with the lead is pulling away. As your leaders putting a lap on some of the slower cars. Oh, Gosick tucks it underneath. Mike Reuter down here in the corner. Everybody got through all right, but that was a close one. Gosick trying to come by the Colonel Joe Hawksby. Now gets a wheel underneath, finally does, as he was lapping Hawksby. The leaders were lapping him. And now Siprich with a fairly comfortable lead as he continues to run laps in the high seventh. Hevron has fallen off the pace. Chuck Siprich out in front. Eddie Bellinger running second, the lead back to a full second. And apparently the right front tire on Doug Hevron is going soft. Lou Bannister back on the track in the 26. Lou Bannister back out in the 26. You could say the tire on Hevron's car. He did when they were running when they were running in traffic. But once free of traffic, he's not able to gain any ground. There's Coniam. He finally got by Hevron down low. Now sets in behind the 04 of Larry Record. Puts a lap on Record. Passing flag stays out as your leader, Chuck Siprich, turns a lap of 17.8. Coniam now up into third. Doug Hevron running fourth. Bentley Warren is fifth. It's a wheel underneath. Steve Joya is seventh. Dick Batchelder eighth, and he is the last car in the lead lap. Siprich goes low. He puts a lap on Batchelder. So now there are 7 cars in the lap with leader Chuck Siprich. Eddie Bellinger gets underneath Batchelder to put a lap on him. Siprich out in front in the 36. 18 laps remaining now. 57 have been completed. Warren Coniam used up some ground on him. Now Coniam has to come by the 33 of Dick Batchelder. Your leader, Chuck Siprich. Eddie Bellinger running second. Coniam in the same lap with your leaders. But they are closing in on him with 7 laps to go. Siprich continuing to have minor handling problems in the corners, but continues to muscle the car around. Here's the passing flag now for Joe Hawksby. The 9 of Steve Joya runs second. Warren Coniam in third. Bentley Warren stays fourth, and Doug Hevron is closed back up on him in fifth. Hevron trying to retake the number 4 spot. Bellinger way high in the turn down here as he puts a lap on Steve Joya. 2 laps to go. 2 to go for Chuck Siprich. On his way to the Port City win, Eddie Bellinger running second. Warren Coniam all alone is third. Then you got a battle. Look at here. Hevron underneath takes over fourth. Hevron retakes fourth from Bentley Warren, but Warren flag is out. Chuck Siprich on his way to the win. Siprich out in front in the 36.02. Bellinger running second. Checkered flag win to Siprich. Bellinger gets the number 2 spot. Warren Coniam comes across in third. Doug Hevron finishes fourth, and Bentley Warren in fifth. Steve Joya unofficially is sixth. 1 lap down. Which was able to run away. Never seriously challenged, although Bellinger managed to stay with him. He wasn't able to gain any ground on him. And Siprich got the win. Bellinger coming across in second. Warren Coniam was third. Doug Hevron got by Bentley Warren at the end to take over fourth. Bent was fifth. Unofficially the only cars in the same lap. Steve Joya finishing sixth. Chuck Siprich climbs out from behind the wheel, the winner of the Port City 150 Super Modified feature. How about a nice hand for Chargin' Charlie? Siprich going to take the victory lap, a deserved win for the 36, the Ron Buckner prepared car, the driver Charlie Siprich out of Burdett. Well, Maynard Troyer coming down. Looks over the Super Modified of Chuck Siprich, checks out the tires, talks to Red a little bit. Chuck Siprich now, we're going to get him to get a few pictures taken by his car.